10 kilos of gold. How much would it cost if I give you maybe a grand or something, then I could smash this with this bar? And I can't? What if it was 2 grand? Let's go back to the beginning of America. What was it built on? Built on slavery. How did it work? Push these people off the land, bring these people in, get the cotton, get the tobacco, send it off to Europe, let Europe send back gold and silver and finished goods, and now you're in business. You don't pay for the land, you don't pay for the labor. Free land, free labor, huge profits. I gotta do it for my business, and right now times are tough, bro. I mean, this is crazy scary. I'm scared for the economy this year. It's taking a serious downturn. Like, yo, bro, I drove to New York City today, to Manhattan, no traffic. I had to go down to Wall Street, no traffic. Do you know what it is to drive around Manhattan on a fucking Tuesday with no traffic? That's never happened. Back when the economy was strong in 2007, you'd wait in line to get to the city. So you have to understand, you equate the economy with the movement of people, goods and services. That's the economy. The economy is, I go to get a haircut from my boy goes to the movie with his friends, the guy that works at the movie theater goes to buy a new mattress, and everybody's getting up and going, and there's massive amounts of business activity. But if I don't have money to go get a haircut, or he don't have money to go to the movies, everybody's just sitting around. No one's on the roads. So when you see lots of people in traffic, the economy is booming. That's why people always complain about holiday traffic. Well, holiday traffic, everybody's got to get up and go buy and go drop off and go pick up and go do this and go do that. So the traffic today was so light, it was fucking scary. It's convenient, you're just cruising through, but then you're coming in here and it's no business and there's no nothing. So that's 10 kilos of gold. Let me show you where we got it. Let me show you where we got this 10 kilos. I mean, what was the reason for the Great Depression? People f***ed up the money, doing things that had no value, just like in this society, and printing more and more money to cover it all up. And then eventually the bill comes due, and everything stops. And what it is like a reset. Let me just predict the future for you and just make it real easy. What can happen over your lifetime? All of these jobs of all this stupid paperwork and all these stocks and all this and that, all that, and all these other unproductive activities that don't actually add value to this world will eventually have to get flushed out the system, to the point that the only thing really works is right back to the beginning. The grocery store, the dentist, that's going to keep going. But there's going to be vast amounts of people that are jobless because all these other unproductive jobs just have no reason. And then little by little, you have to wind it up, right? In the 1930s, that happened. And then people just had nothing to do. There was no jobs. People just didn't have anything to do. What does that even mean? That means that all of the bullshit jobs that were created by the stock market boom of the 1920s had to disappear, and you had to start from the beginning. And when nobody has no jobs, there's no construction. There's no construction. There's even less jobs. Listen, it's all bullshit. All of the jobs that are in financing and all those other things, and in JP Morgan Chase, and these are all the white collar jobs in banking and this and that. It's just moving paper back and forth. They're not producing anything of value. Sure, you need a stock market. Sure, you need a bank. But these are not jobs for a whole class of people, elite. Let's go back to the beginning of America. What was it built on? Built on slavery. How did it work? Push these people off the land, bring these people in, get the cotton, get the tobacco, send it off to Europe, let Europe send back gold and silver and finished goods, and now you're in business. You don't pay for the land, you don't pay for the labor. Free land, free labor, huge profits. It's a sad, scary reality. How is that being done today? It's being done today with printing money. There's an owner class. They own the stocks, the land. They print, increase their value, they increase their wealth, and that's it. They're the owner class. If you bought McDonald's stock or Amazon stock or whatever, or even a basic stocks in the 90s, you live off of that inflation, and then you pass it off to your kids, and then they can just continue on. And they're in Europe, they're traveling, they own their land, they're sitting, you're passing by these houses, you don't know who's in there. Sure, that guy could be a doctor waking up 6 a.m. every day, or he could be just some old money that they never have to work for. So there's a whole class of people that aren't actually doing any work, is what I'm trying to tell you. It's the new slavery, so to speak. It means the new people, whoever they are, have to work 10 times harder for 10 times less, doing way more work and not seeing it. And nobody understands what's actually happening. But nature has a way to solve that problem. Collapse. At this point in time, the country is playing too much. You know, you can have a little bit of a leak somewhere and keep it going. You know, you have a big ship and you have a couple of leaks. You take a bucket and you bail it out and you're fine. You know, some water, mop it up, and just it keeps coming back in. But eventually, if there's more leaks than there are everything else, the shit goes down. And right now, there's vast amount of leaks. There's about $1 trillion worth of leaks per year. That's filling up. And it's going to cause big problems. It could be solved tomorrow. You could go and you could give people solar panel jobs and all sorts of shit and just have a real rigorous, straightforward program, and then invest the money. One of my favorite ideas. There's millions of people in jail in this country, some of them for non-violent crime. If you're doing non-violent crimes, you could have an early work release program where, you know, if you learn how to install solar panels, you'll be able to get early release, and you install this and you get paid for it, and so on and so forth. So you take $1 billion, you invest it, you have people out of the jails, which is costing $50,000 a year anyway to house them there. They're not paying for that. You are. So you take that money, and instead of them keeping them in a cell, you're actually producing energy. So now you get to save on fuel costs. You're giving them a paycheck. They're spending that paycheck at local businesses. Those local businesses are paying taxes. That money's coming back to you. So what's the end result? The end result is just there's less people in jail and more solar panel and healthier businesses. That's all you need to do. One program to build solar panels across the country, and 4, 5, 6 other great ideas, and all the problems are solved. Because unlike you or me, when the government spends money, it's spending money on the governed. So it can't spend money. It can only do business. You understand? You spend money and then you never see it again. But when the government spends money, it spends money on the governed. And that money circulates through the economy, gets collected in taxes. It's a different type of thinking about money. But they don't give a about that. They're like, the spending. If you sit here and you spend $1 billion on solar panel construction, you're not spending $1 billion. Because that money is going to be spent on labor. That labor is going to be taxed automatically. So you're automatically getting a discount. And then that money is going to go to an income to local diners and businesses and restaurants and tolls that people got to pay to drive places and cars. So all that money is going to get taxed. So that's going to be back. Then all those people that are going to sit here and those companies that are going to spend their money, that money is going to be taxed. All the money is going to come back. Because if I'm the government and I take the government money and spend it on the people, what happened? Sure, there's less here, but there's more here. I didn't lose anything because I'm the government. It's all in the same game. Then these guys are going to go and they're going to pay taxes. And that's it. It's a done deal. But nobody understands that. Nobody gives a because they're only thinking about themselves, and the politicians don't know shit. The only reason why I know shit because I got to know shit to make money. They don't know shit because they don't have to know it. They'll take your money, your labor, your land, and then they'll smile and they'll say, see, I'm helping you. It's a game, it's a lie, and it's a false reality, and it's a matter of when it's all going to come down and how it's going to come down. In 1970s, the technology that was around was more or less index cards. And you were able to buy a home with the single family income. With all of the improvements in technology and productivity since 1970 to 2024, you're talking about 54 years of technological revolutions that are mind-boggling. The price of the home should have fell to a quarter of what it was. You should be able to be a postman and buy a second house. But they don't want that for you. They want to sit here and want to collect that capital and be your overlords. All right? And who are they? They are you. Because when you get it and you're in the position, you do the same thing. So it's few and far in between. Creativity is going to be the final occupation. It's in and of itself the word. You're creating. Creativity is the final occupation because a robot is going to be able to do everything better anyway. A shovel can hold more dirt than your hands. You need to fix your car. You're going to be able to train a robot one time to do it. It's going to go under the hood in the middle at 3 in the fucking morning if it needs to. And it's going to be able to fully detail your car and replace the fucking this and do an oil change by the time you wake up in the morning. The one that Elon Musk is building. So, and this is happening in 2024. If you take the year 5000 BC and go to the year 1000 BC, you're talking about 4,000 years. The changes, you could list them on a single piece of paper. If you take the changes of the past 50 years, you can't even wrap your head around them. We're at the moment, it's called the singularity. It's the threshold, one dynamic to another. It's just completely off the rails. You can't even comprehend what's happening because things are happening so fast. First, you were able to keep track, and even when we were kids, we'd be bored out of our mind. You know what I'm saying? You'd sit there at home, you'd have the same episodes of the same TV shows running over and over. You couldn't even watch them anymore. We'd do shit like we'd stare at a clock and see how long a minute would take. Or I would sit there and I would listen to the sound of silence and think, how does silence sound? Or you'd open up a cover just to look inside or read the back of a cereal box. Right now, you could just infinitely scroll. Time dilutes. Because if you have a free minute, you open up TikTok and there's millions of people creating content doing this. Look at the I'm doing. I got a gold brick over here. I got to toss it, break through glass. Everybody's doing everything at any point in time to get this. People are jumping off of cars, roofs, Mr. Beast, giving away anything you can imagine. Everybody's doing every fucking thing at an ever faster increasing rate day by day. And to get their attention is fucking impossible. So we're at that stage. It's a game, and we got to decide how to play it out. And I got to figure out if gold has a part to play, what part will that be? Smooth,